Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to say a couple of things real quickly about a video that I saw recently on another acting tips or acting technique channel on YouTube. I saw something on there that really bothered me. He had this video talking about how to cry on cue. And what he did was he broke it down into two categories. He broke it down into organic ways and inorganic ways to cry tears, or to cry on cue or whatever. And it really bothered me. It's like 5:30, 6 a.m., something like that, and in the morning, and I'm up doing this video because it's been bothering me this whole time, and I had to make the video now about it. Here's the thing. He says there are two different ways to cry on cue. There's organic ways and inorganic ways. The inorganic ways are things like having a makeup artist blow air into your eyes to cause tears, or putting water under your eyes to make it look like you've been crying, and things like that. And so there was that way. And then there was also editing, like the way they can cut so that way it looks like, you know, you've been crying or whatever. And he talked about, for example, you know, they'll be shooting one guy this way, and it gets to right before he needs to cry tears, and then they'll shoot this guy, and while they're shooting this guy, the makeup artist will come up and blow air into his eyes, and then they'll cut here, and they'll come back to here and shoot him. That is totally wrong. I'm sorry, I don't know where this guy has been, but that's not how it works on a film set. If you've been on a film set ever, you know that they don't shoot that way. They don't shoot that way. It takes way too much time to set up. If you're gonna shoot this guy here, it takes 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe longer sometimes, to get the setup ready to go. Because sometimes these setups are so complex with all the lighting, getting it just right, getting the camera set up, getting the focus length right, all this stuff, it takes a long time to get set up, and they're on a very tight schedule, so they can't waste any time. They are not going to shoot this way for an actor's close-up, get to right before he's going to cry tears, and they're not going to cut, and then go to this guy and shoot him while the makeup artist makes him cry. They're not going to do that because in order to go from here to here, they have to change everything around. They can take all the lights and put them over here. They have to reorient the camera. They do all this work. It's going to take another 10, 15 minutes to get set up for this side. And then to go back here to this guy to shoot his crying, you got to do everything all over again and reverse it again. And that's not efficient. That's not the way professionals work. So I don't know where this guy gets his information from, but that's a terrible example because that's not how it works. And not only is it is inorganic. It's totally inorganic. There's nothing true about that. And then he mentioned the organic ways, and he talked about not blinking. His favorite way to go is to not blink. You just not blink for a long time, and that'll produce tears. And then something about holding your breath for a while, and something about the way you hold your breath or whatever will cause tears. And they're organic because you're doing it yourself rather than having someone else doing it for you. Friends, that is so wrong. I'm sorry. Because I'm sorry I'm really passionate about this, but this is the thing. This is about one of the fundamental things about acting is emotion. Acting is not emoting. It's not. But it's also not faking. And this is the whole idea is here that you just pretend to be sad, you look sad, and then they'll do all the rest for you. They'll make you look like you're crying, and then the audience will be convinced and think, wow, you're a great actor, you're crying tears. That is not right, folks. That's not how it works. When it comes to emotions and crying and all that, the way you do it is through preparation. And I'll get to that in a second, but I want to go back to one thing here though. He said one way that people work on crying is they think about something sad. You know, think about your dog dying. And he said, I don't think about my dog dying. I don't want to think about my dog dying, so I just don't blink. Well, I wouldn't think about my dog dying either. First of all, I don't have a dog. But secondly, you don't use real life experiences to get to where you need to be with emotion. If you need to be sad, you don't think about a traumatic experience and relive that. It's dangerous to your health to do that. Emotionally, psychologically, mentally, it's just, you don't do that. That was what Strasberg taught, and it's wrong. It's not good for you. The way I work, and the way a lot of the great actors work, and the way I think you should do it, is through what Meisner had, which was imaginary circumstances. You take an element of truth, combine that with an element of imagination, you make it as specific as possible, you daydream, you fantasize about that, and it'll get to the point where you are full of that emotion. It is pouring out of you, it's controlling you. And then when you do that, when you are full of emotion, you are really feeling that emotion, you will cry. Even if you don't cry tears, you are so full of that emotion, the audience will see it. They will see that you are truly sad. They'll see that you're truly upset. They'll see that you're truly terrified. They'll see that you're truly happy. Whatever the emotion is, they will see that that is real. And that's what it's about. It's about not realism. It's not about being realistic. It's about being real. It's a difference between realism and being realistic and being real. And it's about being real. It's about truth. It's about truthfulness. Acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances, as Meisner said. That's what it is about, folks. And so when you talk about emotion, you talk about emoting, or you talk about being able to cry on cue, that should not be the goal. The goal should not be to cry on cue. The goal should be to be that emotion, to become sad, to experience that emotion. The tears are a byproduct of being full of that emotion. But too many people, and this, it sounds like this gentleman here, is making the tears the goal, the process, the whole reason for it. But it's not. Crying tears is not the result we're going for. It's a byproduct of being filled with that emotion. That's what it's about. And I mentioned before, Meisner and Strasberg and all those people. Strasberg's thoughts were that you take something that happened in your life, you relive it in your mind, and that'll get you where you need to be. But as I said before, that is unhealthy. Meisner said, element of truth, element of imagination, put the two together. That's where you get your emotion from. Using your imagination with the element of truth to ground you. That's what it's about. That's how you get to where you need to be emotionally. Not this pretending, looking like you're sad, and doing these cheap tricks in order to look sad. If you want to be a great actor, and his whole point was, to be a good actor, blah, 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 blah. To be a really good actor, to be a great actor, you need to be experiencing the emotion that the character is supposed to be going through. That's how you do it. Because you know what? When you really experience the emotion, you will be vulnerable. Your performance will be raw. Everyone loves seeing vulnerable performances, but guess what? How do you be vulnerable? You be vulnerable by experiencing the emotion for real and letting yourself experience those emotions in front of the camera, in front of the crew, in front of an audience. That's how you do it. That's how you become vulnerable. Being vulnerable is letting people see the worst of you, letting you see you at your weakest point. And when you're crying, if you let yourself really cry, you don't pretend, but you really are sad, you really are terrified, you really are all the emotions you're supposed to be, that is being vulnerable. And the audience will see that. They will see that you are vulnerable, and they will feel for you. They will connect with you. They will want to go up there and hug you. You will impact the audience. You won't impact the audience that way if you are pretending. If you are pretending to cry and you are having fake tears, that is not going to do anything. You're not going to have a raw performance. You're not going to have a vulnerable performance that the audience can really connect with. It's going to be flat. It's going to be two-dimensional. There's going to be no depth to it. But that's what he's teaching. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that people have to learn that, because they're not learning what real acting is. That's some cheap spin-off. That's not what real acting is. That's not what the greats taught. That's not what Meisner taught. That's not what Adler taught. That's not what Strasberg taught. That's not what Stanislavski taught. That's not what they taught. They didn't teach these cheap tricks to be fake and look as if you are really experiencing this emotion. It was about experiencing the emotion. And all the great actors, Joanne Woodward, Diane Keaton, Robert Duvall, Marlon Brando, Robert De Niro, all these great actors, they all experience the emotions. They are really going through what the character is supposed to be going through as far as the emotions are concerned. They're not going through the same experience, because the experiences, the circumstances of the story are imaginary, but the emotions are real. So they are connected on the emotional level to what the character is going through. And that's what it's all about. If you can get to that place where you are truly experiencing those emotions, you are going to be doing a great job. You will be vulnerable. You will give a raw performance that the audience will connect with and impact. You will impact the audience through that. But if you just do what I said before, you just fake like he's proposing, you just pretend, you just look sad and let them do the tears for you, if that's what you want to do, you're not going to be that great of an actor, because you're missing a fundamental of what acting is. That's what it boils down to, folks. That's what it boils down to. He said acting is pretending. Acting is not pretending. Acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. That's what acting is. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know what to tell you. It's you can't fake emotion. People see through fake emotion. People see through the crocodile tears. It doesn't hit them the same way real emotion does. So, tip of the day, if you want to really experience, if you want to really impact an audience, if you want to really make a difference, if you really want to be vulnerable, you have to really experience the emotions the character is supposed to be experiencing. That's what it boils down to. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you learned something valuable from this, that you can take something away from this and go, I think I need to really start to learn about how to get to the point where I'm really experiencing emotions in a safe, healthy way, but to really experience the emotions so that way I can give a great performance in that respect. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell so that way you can be notified when more of my content comes out. Be sure to share this with your friends. There are a lot of people out there that are being taught the wrong thing when it comes to emotion. And so if you would share this with people to help them understand, up-and-coming actors especially, people that are just new to this, are going to be learning so many wrong things. They need to learn the right way. So please share this with your friends, like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and again, always, keep living truthfully.